in planted containers. Like everybody else, I'm stuck at home, so I don't have a huge range of opportunities to go out shopping for plant pots. Most of the ones I've got available to me are already full of plants. So I've had a rummage in the greenhouse and I've found this old houseplant container. As you can see, it doesn't have any holes in for drainage, so it's going to be quite difficult to keep the plants healthy in here without them getting too wet. I've decided to plant a plant called Dahlia Bishop's Children. This particular dahlia is a tender perennial, so it won't survive the winter in this country unless it's protected. I love the fact that the dark purple foliage has flowers of all different shades of orange, red, pink and purple on it. I don't want the plants I've planted in here to get too wet, so what I've done is taken another container, in this case an old green plant pot that you might use as the base for a flower display, and I've drilled holes in the bottom of it. In addition to that, I'm also using a layer of this green material which is known as capillary matting. This also holds water and it will stop soil getting through the holes into the bottom of the container. So I'm going to pop the whole lot into the bottom of my plant pot, and what this does is it sits around about this level and creates a reservoir of water in the bottom that the plants will be able to draw from should I forget to water them for 2 or 3 days. Alternatives to this that I could have used is a product called Hydrolica. This is an expanded clay granule and it's used in commercial plantings to store water. It's really good because when you water the plant, water seeps into these expanded spaces in the granules and it's stored there until it's needed by the plants when it's drawn out by capillary action. Cheaper alternative to this is I've got lots of broken clay plant pots around the place, so I've just broken them up into smaller pieces and I could use those in the bottom of a container as well. Soil. I've made the initial soil level to around about 5 centimetres from the top of the pot. After that I've placed my little dahlia plants and I've used 6 in here, so I've got 5 around the edge and 1 in the middle, which should give me a nice full display of flowers later in the year. And hopefully, because these are not very hardy, it means that come the winter I'll be able to pop these back into the greenhouse and keep them protected from the worst of the frost, and I should have a lovely display again next year. So I'm going to finish this off now. I'm going to take some more of my compost and carefully I'm going to just pop that around the plants, just making sure that I don't damage them and that I just top that soil level up. I'm going to use a soil level just slightly higher than they were in their modules, just to make sure it looks nice and neat, and I'm going to make sure that goes down in between all my flowers to make sure everything is nice and firmly placed in. I could mix this with other plants in here as well, but I thought it'd be quite nice because these will flower in lots of different shades of red and orange and pink, to just see what comes up and see what happens with the flowers. Okay, so I'm just getting my hands down carefully in between there just to make sure everything's firmed in, and now I'm just going to give the pot a little bit of a clean just to tidy it up a little bit, and there we go. The last thing to do with these is to take them outside and water them. So the second lot of container gardening that I want to show you is how to grow herbs for your kitchen windowsill. I've got 3 different herbs here. I have coriander, parsley and basil. Now these have been grown from seed and I'm going to start some more seeds off just so that I've got a continuation once these are finished with. Normally I would plant seeds like that in a terracotta plant pot because they look quite attractive on the kitchen windowsill and I don't need to do anything with them once they're planted. I can just leave them to grow. This year, however, I thought it'd be a little bit different. We can't all get to the garden centre and the garden centres quite often aren't open, so I thought I'd use bean tins. I've been saving these for the last couple of weeks and I thought they'd make an ideal planter for me to add to my kitchen windowsill. Now obviously they don't have drainage holes in the bottom, so I've taken a large nail and a hammer and I've just simply pierced some holes in the bottom by hammering the nail in. One thing that I do need to be careful of with these is that the lip where the bean lid was is quite sharp, so I do need to wear gloves while I'm potting these up. First thing that I'm going to do is take some of my terracotta crocks from earlier on and I'm going to tip them into my tin. This will not only provide a base for the plants, it'll help with moisture retention and it'll hopefully block some of the drainage holes sufficiently to stop the soil coming out with the water. So the next thing is to put my gardening gloves on. This not only protects my hands from dirt, but it also keeps them safe from any cuts and things. I've already planted my parsley seeds, which were hard to see on camera, so now for the coriander and basil seeds. I'm tipping some of the coriander into the palm of my hand to make them easier to handle. I want a thin layer of seeds on the top of the tin, not too many as I don't want the plants to be overcrowded, but enough to give me a good crop for the kitchen windowsill. Once I've finished, I'll return the rest of the seeds back to the pack so I can sow some more later on and pop a label in so I know what the plants are. The next job is to top the tin with a little bit more compost just to cover the seeds and help them germinate more evenly. After that, I'll move on to the carrot seeds and repeat the process all over again. If I repeat these sowings every few weeks, I should get a really nice crop of all three herbs to keep me going all through the summer and into the autumn. So those are my 3 lots of herbs planted from seed. I'm going to take those outside now and water them along with my dahlias. So there's my quick guide to planting containers for your garden. So why not get creative, use what you've got, and hopefully at the end of the summer you'll have had some beautiful plant displays.